The day began with a golden sun rising over the horizon of planet Sirith. This was no ordinary planet. It was a world bustling with life and vibrant ecosystems. Humanity had made remarkable strides in exploration, and now they were here, at the forefront of a new chapter in their history. Captain Mira Lennox, a seasoned pilot with a fierce determination, stood on the observation deck of the ship Odyssey *, gazing at the lush landscapes below. As she turned to her crew, Mira's excitement was palpable. Today, we're not just exploring, we're making history. The crew, consisting of scientists, engineers, and specialists, nodded in agreement, their spirits high. They had spent years preparing for this mission, eager to uncover the mysteries of Sirith and, perhaps, establish contact with its intelligent life. Suddenly, an alarm blared throughout the ship. "Captain, we're detecting unusual solar activity," shouted Dr. Ethan Cross, the ship's chief scientist. His fingers flew across the control panel, trying to decipher the readings. Mira rushed to his side, her heart racing. The solar flares were unlike anything they had ever encountered. "Redirect power to the shields. We need to protect the ship," she commanded. The crew sprang into action, their training kicking in as they worked together to stabilize the ship. The bright light from the sun outside intensified, washing over them with a fierce energy. It was beautiful yet terrifying. As the Odyssey * shook under the strain, Mira's thoughts raced. If these solar flares were as powerful as they seemed, they could pose a serious threat not just to their mission, but to the entire galaxy. "Ethan, can you analyze the source of this energy?" she asked. "Working on it, Captain," he replied, sweat beading on his forehead. After a moment, he looked up, eyes wide with shock. "It's coming from deep within the sun. It appears to be alive." "What do you mean?" Mira's curiosity piqued. "How can a sun be alive?" Ethan quickly explained. "There are readings of complex structures, almost like biological formations. If we can harness this energy, it could change everything we know about stars and their interactions with life." Mira weighed the risks. "We need to gather more data. If we can prove that this energy is sentient, it could revolutionize our understanding of life and the universe." As they adjusted their instruments to collect more information, the ship was hit by a sudden wave of energy. It knocked them off balance, and alarms blared once more. "Captain, the shields are failing," Ethan shouted. "Reinforce them. We can't lose the ship," she commanded, her voice steady despite the chaos. But as the crew fought to stabilize the vessel, they realized the solar flares were just the beginning. They needed a plan, and fast. The crew managed to regain control of the Odyssey as the solar flares subsided, but the threat remained. The captain gathered her team in the main conference room. "We've detected signs of intelligent life on Sirith, but we need to understand what we're dealing with. If the sun is alive, we could be facing something far beyond our comprehension." Dr. Hannah Kim, the ship's xenobiologist, leaned forward. "If the solar flares are tied to the sun's energy, we need to figure out how they communicate. It might be their way of reaching out." Mira nodded, her mind racing with possibilities. "Then let's deploy the probes to analyze the surface and the sun's energy patterns. We need to know what we're up against." As the probes were sent out, the crew monitored the readings carefully. Soon, they received startling news. "Captain, the probes have detected structures on Sirith that resonate with the energy patterns from the sun," Ethan exclaimed. "It's almost as if the life forms there are in tune with it." "Prepare a landing team. We need to investigate these structures," Mira ordered, excitement building in her chest. They had a chance to uncover something extraordinary. Once on the surface, the crew marveled at the sight before them. The landscape was breathtaking, with towering crystalline formations that glimmered in the sunlight. But it was the structures that caught their attention. They appeared to pulse with energy, glowing in harmony with the solar flares. "Can you hear that?" Hannah whispered, closing her eyes. The others fell silent, focusing on the gentle vibrations that filled the air. It was like a psalm, a melody that resonated with their very beings. "Let's take samples and record the sounds," Mira suggested. They worked diligently, capturing data and listening to the strange symphony that surrounded them. Suddenly, a shadow passed over them. They looked up to see a figure emerging from the shimmering structures. A tall, slender being with iridescent skin, its eyes glowing like stars. It radiated a warmth that felt familiar, almost welcoming. Mira stepped forward cautiously. "We come in peace. We are explorers from Earth." The being tilted its head, and to their surprise, words flowed into their minds, clear and resonant. "We are the Solari, children of the sun. We have been waiting for your arrival." Stunned, the crew exchanged glances. "You knew we were coming?" Mira asked. "Yes. The energy of your kind has reached us, just as the sun reaches you. We seek to understand." As the Solari explained their connection to the sun, Mira felt a deep sense of purpose. They had stumbled upon an ancient civilization that thrived on the very energy that powered their star. "We want to learn from you, to share our knowledge," she said earnestly. The Solari nodded, their glowing eyes filled with understanding. "Together, we can unlock the secrets of the universe." The following days were filled with discovery and wonder. Mira and her crew worked closely with the Solari, learning about their culture and their unique relationship with the sun. They shared stories of Earth, their struggles and triumphs, while the Solari revealed the history of their kind, a tale woven through generations. As they explored the crystalline structures, they uncovered ancient artifacts that hinted at the Solari's profound connection to the solar energy. The crew conducted experiments, trying to replicate the energy transfer that seemed to flow naturally between the Solari and their sun. One evening, while the sun set in a blaze of colors, Mira stood with Hannah on a balcony overlooking the vibrant landscape. "Can you believe this? We're making history," Mira said, her heart swelling with excitement. Hannah smiled, her eyes shining. "And think about what we can learn from them. Their knowledge could change everything for humanity." Just then, Ethan joined them, a look of concern etched on his face. "Captain, I've been analyzing the data we collected. There's something we need to discuss." Mira turned, sensing the urgency in his voice. "What is it?" "The energy patterns from the sun are shifting. The solar flares are becoming more intense, and if we don't stabilize the situation, it could lead to catastrophic consequences for both Serith and Earth." Mira's stomach dropped. "What can we do?" Ethan replied, "We need to communicate this to the Solari. They might have insights into how to manage the energy flow before it's too late." As they made their way back to the Solari's central chamber, Mira's mind raced with possibilities. Would the Solari trust them enough to share their knowledge? Could they find a way to work together to harness the energy safely? When they arrived, the Solari were waiting, their luminous forms flickering gently. Mira took a deep breath, steadying her resolve. "We have urgent news. The sun's energy patterns are unstable, and if we don't act quickly, it could spell disaster." The lead Solari, a being named Ilara, regarded them with seriousness. "We have felt the disturbance. Our bond with the sun is strong, but we are not invulnerable. We must unite our knowledge to find a solution." With that, the crew and the Solari began working side by side, pooling their resources and expertise. They constructed a plan to stabilize the sun's energy flow, a blend of human technology and Solari understanding. As they worked, a camaraderie blossomed between the two groups. Mira marveled at the creativity and resilience displayed by both humans and Solari, each contributing unique perspectives and skills. Days turned into weeks, and their bond deepened. They shared meals, laughter, and stories under the Serith skies. Mira felt a sense of belonging she hadn't experienced in a long time. They were not just explorers anymore. They were partners in a mission that transcended their worlds. As the days passed, the solar disturbances grew more severe, disrupting the delicate balance of energy between the sun and the Solari. Mira and her crew worked tirelessly alongside their new friends, but time was running out. They needed a solution before the next wave of solar flares hit. During one critical meeting, Ethan presented his latest findings. "We've identified a series of energy conduits beneath the surface of Serith. If we can tap into these, we may be able to stabilize the flow of energy from the sun." Mira looked around the room, gauging the reactions of the Solari. They nodded in agreement, their glowing forms reflecting determination. "We will help you," Elara said firmly. "Together, we can create a bridge between." With newfound resolve, Mira and her crew, along with the Solari, began preparations for the daunting task ahead. They mapped out the locations of the energy conduits beneath the surface of Sirith, which pulsed with life and resonated with the energy of the sun. This project required intricate planning and collaboration, and both teams felt the weight of their responsibility. Mira gathered everyone in the main chamber. "We need to establish a base at the primary conduit site. From there, we can create a stabilizing apparatus that harnesses the sun's energy and channels it safely into the planet's core." Dr. Ethan Cross, brimming with excitement, added, "We'll need to combine our technology with their organic systems to create a feedback loop that can regulate the energy flow. It's ambitious, but if we work together, we can pull it off." As they set out to the chosen site, Mira felt a rush of adrenaline. The landscape changed dramatically as they ventured deeper into Sirith's heart. Towering trees with luminescent leaves surrounded them, and strange creatures flitted through the air, intrigued by the newcomers. The crew arrived at the primary conduit, a large, glowing fissure in the ground that pulsed rhythmically. The energy radiating from it was both mesmerizing and intimidating. "This is it," Mira said, standing at the edge. "If we can stabilize this conduit, we might save both our worlds." The Solari moved gracefully around the site, gathering materials from their environment. They wove together bioluminescent plants and minerals, creating a structure that looked almost alive. "We will connect our essence to the conduit," Elora explained. "It will allow us to monitor and control the energy flow." The crew worked diligently alongside the Solari, combining human engineering with the organic creations of the Solari. As the apparatus took shape, they could feel the energy pulsing beneath their feet, a living heartbeat of the planet. However, as the sun began to set, a tremor rippled through the ground. "What was that?" Ethan shouted, bracing himself against a nearby tree. "It's a sign. The solar flares are intensifying," Elora exclaimed. "We must hurry." With urgency, the teams redoubled their efforts, their combined skills and determination pushing them forward. As night fell, the glowing apparatus glimmered in the darkness, a beacon of hope. They worked through the night, knowing that time was of the essence. As dawn broke over Sirith, the sky shimmered with hues of orange and pink, but the beauty was overshadowed by an increasing sense of urgency. Mira gathered the crew and the Solari for a final briefing before the activation of the stabilizing apparatus. "We need to synchronize our efforts," Mira said, her voice steady. "Once we activate the apparatus, we must monitor the energy flow closely. If anything goes wrong, we need to be ready to shut it down." Elara nodded, her glowing eyes serious. "We will join our energies. Together, we can become one with the conduit." The moment of truth arrived. The crew took their positions, while the Solari surrounded the apparatus, their forms pulsating in rhythm with the energy emanating from the conduit. Mira felt a wave of anticipation wash over her as she pressed the activation button. The apparatus hummed to life, sending a surge of energy through the conduits. For a moment, everything seemed to stabilize. The vibrations settled, and a sense of harmony filled the air. Then, without warning, a massive solar flare erupted from the sun. The sky turned a brilliant gold as the energy shot towards Sirith, threatening to overwhelm everything they had worked for. "Brace yourselves," Mira shouted, gripping the edge of the apparatus. The ground shook violently, and the apparatus flickered. "We can't let it fail," Ethan yelled. "We have to redirect the energy." Mira turned to Elara, desperation in her eyes. "Can your people help us channel this energy?" Elara's face was set with determination. "Yes, we must amplify our connection." Together, the crew and the Solari focused their energies, creating a channel that redirected the solar flare away from the surface. As they fought against the overwhelming power, Mira felt a connection to the Solari that transcended words. They were no longer just allies. They were bonded by a shared purpose and determination to protect their worlds. "Keep pushing," Mira urged, her voice a rallying cry. The energies converged, intertwining their strengths as they poured their collective will into the apparatus. The vibrations resonated through the ground, transforming into a harmonious melody that echoed across the landscape. Finally, the surge of energy was redirected successfully, dissipating into the atmosphere in a brilliant display of light. The crew and the Solari fell silent, breathing heavily as they watched the sky return to its serene state. "We did it," Mira whispered in awe, feeling a profound sense of achievement. The bond between humans and Solari had saved both their worlds. Ilara approached Mira, a soft glow radiating from her form. "You have proven that unity can conquer the most powerful forces in the universe. Together, we are stronger." Mira smiled, overwhelmed with gratitude. "We are just getting started. Imagine what we can accomplish together in the future." The crew shared a moment of triumph, their spirits lifted by the knowledge that they had not only survived, but had forged an unbreakable alliance with the Solari. They were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, united by their strength and determination to explore the universe together. With the crisis averted, Mira and the crew felt a sense of euphoria wash over them. The sun rose higher in the sky, illuminating the vibrant landscape of Sirith and filling the air with the sweet scent of blooming flora. It was a new day, one that promised not only survival but the dawn of a remarkable partnership between humanity and the Solari. As they gathered around the now stabilized energy conduit, Mira could see the flickers of hope in the eyes of her team and the Solari. "We've proven that together we can achieve the impossible," she said, addressing both her crew and their new allies. "But this is just the beginning. We have a responsibility to ensure that both our civilizations thrive." Ilara stepped forward, her bioluminescent skin casting a soft glow. "Your determination inspires us. We have much to learn from each other. The stability of the conduits will allow us to explore deeper into our connection. Together, we can create a new era." Mira nodded, feeling the weight of that promise. "Let's establish a council, a place where we can share knowledge, culture, and technology. It will be our foundation for cooperation." Over the next few weeks, the crew and the Solari worked diligently to build a council chamber at the base of the conduit. This structure was a blend of human engineering and Solari design, intertwining metal and organic materials in a beautiful symbiosis. As the council took shape, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement. Mira spent her days learning about Solari culture and traditions. They shared stories of their ancestors, their connection to the planet, and the importance of harmony in their society. In return, Mira introduced them to human innovations and concepts, including art, literature, and science. One evening, as they gathered for a council meeting, Mira shared an idea that had been brewing in her mind. "What if we create a combined research program? Each of us can contribute our unique perspectives to explore our universe together. We could study solar phenomena, planetary ecosystems, and even delve into the mysteries of the cosmos." Ethan chimed in, "We could also investigate how we can improve the energy stabilization process, not just for Sirith, but for other worlds in danger." Ilara's eyes glimmered with enthusiasm. "Yes, this knowledge will not only benefit our two species, but will be a beacon for others. We can show the galaxy that unity can lead to prosperity." As discussions continued, the council began to take on a life of its own. Ideas flowed freely, and plans were set in motion for joint expeditions into the surrounding regions of Sirith. Teams were formed, blending humans and Solari to foster cooperation and camaraderie. A cultural exchange. To strengthen their bond, Mira proposed a cultural exchange program. "Let's celebrate our differences and similarities," she suggested. "We can learn so much from each other's art, music, and stories." The first exchange took place under the starry sky of Sirith. The humans set up a display of their own music and dance, showcasing the vibrant cultures of Earth. As the melodies filled the air, the Solari watched with fascination, their forms shifting in response to the rhythm. Then it was the Solari's turn. They shared their own traditional songs, harmonizing in a way that resonated deeply with the humans. Mira and her crew felt the emotional depth in their melodies, and for a moment, it felt as if the very fabric of the universe connected them all. As the night wore on, They began to share stories around a central fire, weaving tales of bravery, adventure, and lessons learned. It was an enchanting evening, filled with laughter and understanding, drawing them closer together. The first joint mission. Excitement buzzed through the council chamber as the day of their first joint mission approached. They planned to explore the nearby regions of Sirith, investigating unique flora and fauna, and mapping out potential energy conduits. Mira, Ilara, and Ethan led the expedition. With their combined expertise, they aimed to gather data that would not only help their immediate environment, but could also be shared with others in need. As they ventured out, Mira marveled at the landscape. The vivid colors, strange creatures, and the harmonious sounds of the forest filled her with wonder. The Solari moved with grace, their presence both reassuring and awe-inspiring. During their exploration, they discovered a new type of energy plant. This flora pulsed with an ethereal glow and released energy similar to the conduits. This could be revolutionary, Ethan exclaimed, examining the plant closely. If we can cultivate it, we might be able to enhance our stabilization systems. As they collected samples, they encountered a group of hostile creatures, larger and more aggressive than any they had faced before. The beasts charged, their roars echoing through the forest, united in battle. In that moment of chaos, Mira instinctively reached for her crew, but Ilara stepped forward. "Allow me," she said, her form glowing brighter. The Solari joined together, creating a barrier of light that enveloped the creatures. Mira watched in awe as the light shifted and pulsed, calming the aggressive beasts. The creatures halted, their growls turning into curious chirps. "We're showing them we mean no harm," Ilara explained, focusing her energy. Mira couldn't believe her eyes. "That's incredible. You can communicate with them like this." "Yes," Ilara replied, her voice steady. "We are all part of this planet's fabric. It is our duty to ensure harmony, even among the wild." Once the creatures were pacified, Mira felt a profound sense of connection not only to the Solari, but to the very world around her. Together, they navigated the delicate balance of nature and technology, creating a new understanding of their place in the universe. Looking to the future. As the mission wrapped up, Mira reflected on the profound experiences they had shared. The alliance between humans and Solari had transformed into something much more significant than she had ever envisioned. They were not just collaborators. They were a family bound by shared dreams and aspirations. Back at the council chamber, Mira addressed her team and the Solari. "What we have started here is just the beginning. We have the potential to inspire other civilizations, to show them that cooperation and understanding can lead to incredible discoveries." Ilara smiled, her bioluminescent skin shimmering with excitement. "Together, we will explore the universe, uncover its secrets, and protect it from harm. We will shine as a beacon of hope." As they looked out into the vast expanse of the cosmos, a sense of excitement bubbled within Mira. This journey had just begun, and she couldn't wait to see where their combined strength would lead them. With the sun setting on the horizon, painting the sky with hues of gold and crimson, Mira felt ready to embrace whatever challenges awaited them. The universe was vast and filled with possibilities, and together they would carve out a path of unity and discovery. Years passed, and the bond between humans and Solari grew ever stronger. The joint council established on Sirith became a beacon for cooperation across the galaxy, drawing other species eager to learn from this unique alliance. Mira, now a respected leader, reflected on the journey that had transformed not only her life but the lives of many. A gathering of species, the council chamber had evolved into a grand hall, filled with vibrant tapestries and artifacts from both cultures. It stood as a symbol of unity, where representatives from various planets gathered to share knowledge and experiences. The first intergalactic symposium was set to take place, showcasing the incredible achievements born from their collaboration. Mira stood at the podium, her heart swelling with pride as she looked out at the diverse assembly. What began as a mission to save one planet has become a movement to uplift all species, she began, her voice steady. "We have proven that our differences are our greatest strength. Together, we can protect and explore the cosmos." As she spoke, Images of their greatest moments flashed on the screens behind her. The stabilization of the energy conduits, the cultural exchanges, and the peaceful coexistence of humans and Solari. Each slide represented countless hours of hard work, innovation, and friendship. A bright future. Ilara, now a key figure in the council, stood beside Mira. She addressed the audience, her voice melodic and filled with conviction. We are not merely allies. We are family. Our shared stories have woven a tapestry that binds us together, allowing us to thrive in ways we never thought possible. The hall erupted in applause, a wave of appreciation echoing through the chamber. Representatives from different species shared their own stories of how the alliance had impacted their worlds, sparking hope and inspiring change. A new generation. As Mira and Ilara engaged with the attendees, they noticed a group of young humans and Solari eagerly discussing their ideas. Inspired by the legacy of cooperation, these new generations were eager to push boundaries and explore the unknown. One young girl, a human named Kira, approached Mira with wide eyes. I want to study the stars and discover new worlds. Can we explore together? Mira knelt down, her heart warmed by the girl's enthusiasm. Absolutely, Kira. The universe is waiting for you. Together, we will explore every corner, every mystery. Looking ahead. As the symposium concluded, Mira stepped outside, gazing up at the vast sky filled with stars. Each twinkling light represented a world waiting to be discovered, a story waiting to be told. The partnership with the Solari had opened doors to infinite possibilities, and she felt a profound sense of gratitude for the journey they had undertaken. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves of the trees around her, reminding her of the harmony they had achieved. The bond forged through adversity had become a legacy of unity, inspiring not just their own species, but others to embrace collaboration and understanding. A promise of hope. Mira turned to Ilara, who stood beside her, a content smile on her face. We've come so far, Mira said, her voice soft but resolute, and we have so much more to achieve. Ilara nodded, her skin shimmering in the starlight. Together, we will continue to inspire others. Our journey is far from over, and the universe is our canvas. As they stood side by side, looking toward the horizon, they knew that the future held boundless adventures. Humanity and the Solari had embarked on a path of exploration and discovery, fueled by curiosity and the belief that unity could conquer any challenge. In that moment, Mira understood. They were not just shaping their destinies, but also planting seeds of hope for generations to come. The cosmos awaited, and together, they would illuminate its mysteries.